Published, 16:59 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 2nd of June 2018. Updated, 19:06 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 2nd of June 2018. Simon Cowell has revealed he's considering an approach from the BBC for Britain's Got Talent. Speaking exclusively to the Mail on Sunday ahead of tomorrow night's final, the 57-year-old said he's weighing up offers for the hit ITV show. He said, "You always wonder if this show, BGT, would work better on the BBC. I have thought about that a lot recently, genuinely I have, because you always want to be in the same place." Simon Cowell is considering an approach from the BBC to pinch Britain's Got Talent from ITV. "I have thought about it. They did offer me a deal a few years ago and it's something I am thinking about. Coming up with new formats is something that Cowell admits is very much on his mind. Recently, he has been looking at viewing habits of television viewers and blames social media, the internet and the hundreds of new channels, including Netflix, that have all arrived to compete with terrestrial channels, which is where his shows, including Britain's Got Talent, are screened. He recently sold his first new format to the BBC, The Greatest Dancer, which will air next year with his long-term X Factor colleague Cheryl Tweedy as a judge. He said, "You always wonder if BGT would work better on the BBC. I have thought about that a lot recently, genuinely I have, because you always want to be in the same place." However, he revealed that isn't the only work the BBC liked. A few years ago they tried to poach BGT from ITV, and Cowell is still considering the move, in what would be one of the biggest defections in TV history. Cowell is also thinking about the future of television, and how it can be saved, and he credits his 4-year-old son, Eric, for this. He limits the time his son is allowed to spend on his iPad and instead sits with him to watch shows on the several traditional TVs that Cowell has in his West London home. "When you talk to a lot of TV people, they always talk about this 18 to 34 demographic. I'm actually more interested in bringing in the very, very young viewers, like Eric's age, because if you get them watching television, they will hopefully keep watching it." He is not on his iPad much at all. "That's what we need to do to ensure the future of television programs. Just like I read proper books with Eric, and I try to show him newspapers too. I went back recently and looked at the figures on everything from around 2004. There was so much money out there. Every single show was 12 million, or 14 million. Now it's far less." The television mogul, 57, said he's always thinking about how to reinvent the show and keep it fresh. Pictured Cowell with fellow judges Alicia Dixon, left, and Amanda Holden. He liked to watch television on an actual television rather than a computer. "And I think for TV to work you have to watch television with friends and family. I watch BGT with Eric and it's a more fun show to watch with other people. That's what needs to happen." In an astonishing confession, the television mogul has also told the Mail on Sunday that he became so distracted by the technology that he has ditched the phone for the sake of his mental health and the future of his business. Cowell revealed his mobile has been switched off for the last 10 months, explaining his decision to go phone-free. He said, "I literally have not been on my phone for 10 months because I thought, I'm not going to turn it on for a week, but then it got to a full month. Genuinely, the difference it made was that I became more aware of the people around me, more aware of the people that I work with, and way more focused." Cowell is also thinking about the future of television, and how it can be saved, and he credits his 4-year-old son, Eric, for this. "Picture together, I was distracted, overwhelmed, and the thing I get irritated with is when you have a meeting everyone's on their phone, and I was probably in that place too. You can't concentrate. You know when you lose your phone, or it dies, you're like, oh no, and it's a disaster. When I was younger, a telephone, like an iron, was the most boring object in the world. With or without my mobile, I am 100% better without it, because it doesn't own you. And particularly for me, when I'm making shows, you've got to be really, really focused. I don't have that worry of, oh god, I've lost my phone anymore either. And if Lauren needs to get hold of me, she can. She knows how to. If people want to get hold of me, they will get hold of me. It has been so good for my mental health. It's a very, very strange experience, but it really, really is good for you, and it has absolutely made me happier. I felt I didn't need an in my job. You've got to be really aware of the people you're working with, and that became a major distraction for me. If you look at the big formats of the past years, of which there are only a handful, they don't come around by sitting in meetings, they happen because you're aware of what's going on around you. Cowell is also doing his bit by cutting down from his 1,000 meetings he has previously taken annually to significantly fewer, and American comedy movies. I have been doing 3 meetings, nearly 365 days per year, and I've stopped that. You can't be creative. I don't go to bed early. I stay up and watch funny films. I like to watch Steve Martin movies. I've started to meet more people and do things that I want to do. Then I've learned that these shows will hopefully happen organically.